know that's right. Hey guys, happy Friday. No matter if you are catching this via the replay or live, we appreciate you. Those that are in the room, we always appreciate you being in the room because you add to the conversation. But y'all, we are midway through the year. Can you like we're here. We're midway through the year already. Well, that's amazing. And today's fireside chat is going to be focusing on just that. Why? Because at the midway point, you should be asking yourself some very serious questions. Is this working? Is it not working? What's going well? What's not going well? And if I'm using any tools, are those tools working? Or are they not working? So this is definitely a great conversation to have at the midway point, because if you need to make some adjustments, you still have a good number of months before one of the major holiday shopping seasons of the year comes up, and that's the Christmas season. So Black Friday all the way up through Christmas, and even after, you know that there's a ton of people shopping, typically through all over, all over. And this gives you great opportunity to make those changes and see if they're working for you again. So with that being said, I am Altovise at Altovise Unmuted, if you didn't know. Appreciate this. Every Friday we come for not one, but two different influencer calls. One of them is only influencers, which are influencers who are on all of the many platforms. And then the second call is at our 2 p.m. Eastern Standard call. And that one is for all of those who are on the Logie platform. So we love being able to come and share insight, information. And then the fireside chat happens on the last Friday of every month. So the last Friday of the month, we come in with some great insight information, but it's answering questions that help you directly. So it's based on things that you've asked about, and then it's from the people who've been using the tools, the resources, or the information that you've been asking about. So they give you the good, the bad, the ugly, not just the pretty things. Okay, that part. Because over here we don't just get fluff. We do not just get fluff. And David David started us off. Come on, David. David said, my midway thinking will have to go get a job again as things are so low last few months and getting worse. Exactly. And again, this is that time to think about those things, because again, the busiest time of the year is at the end of the year. Are you going to have enough momentum to make it to that point? Or are you going to have to go and do something else? Stephanie said, this has been my worst month in the program, I think, ever. It's really hard to stay motivated when nothing appears to be working. That part. So let's start at the bare minimum. We don't have control over everything that's going on in the program right now. We don't have control over everything that's going on in the world right now. But what we can control is what we have access to, which is your numbers, your content, and what you're doing with that, like what you're doing with that information. And because there's Heather's in the chat and said, this is my best month ever so far. Right. And so it's going to vary from person to person, but these are the questions that we need to ask, right? So let's start at the beginning. How has this year looked for you in comparison to last year? How has this year looked for you in comparison to last year? Now, we know that there's a lot going on different from last year to this year, but views, how are your views looking about the same? Or are they looking better? Or are they looking worse? Is the money what's looking worse or better or about the same? That part, right? The opportunities. Are you seeing less opportunities, more opportunities, or about the same? So in those three categories, that can kind of give you some interesting insight, because sometimes the worst is not because of you. It's because of what's going on, everything else. Sometimes the worst is because of you. Can we just be honest? Sometimes you're not being productive at your highest peak. You're just doing the bare minimum. And we get that. Sometimes that's all we can do. but sometimes you're doing the bare minimum and expecting these grandiose results from bare minimum work. While that sounds like something we wish could be amazingly true all the time, it doesn't always work like that. So there are things that we can put in place to kind of, change that midway through. But again, you have to know what it is you are already working with. I saw Stephanie put in the chat numbers, like views, they are still there. They haven't really dropped. Great. Andrew said my best month was my third month in AIP 2 years ago, but my average daily earnings have stayed consistent for the past year. Great to know. I know for me, this year has been considerably low, but for me, I found that the low came from a lot of the products that I had content for were either no longer available, the brand wasn't on Amazon anymore, or it says currently unavailable, meaning that either they just don't have the inventory or they uploaded it as a new ASIN. That part. Stephanie said, just checked this first quarter compared to last year, and I have made more money. Right? Andrew said, thank God for Oink. Right? Because we were trying to go through ourselves. And it's crazy because we were having the conversation that, okay, a lot of the products are coming up currently unavailable. What's with that? And the fact that he gave us that option where it just pulls them automatically and lets you know, game changer. Because now I can go in and check and say, oh, that one has a new ASIN. Let me just change it to the new ASIN. And again, as long as it's the same product, you're not doing a new brand, it's the same product, go ahead and change it over to the new ASIN. That part. Yeah, this year has been low for me too. I wonder if TikTok has something to do with it as well. Now, here's another thing. Antoine just said a really great point in the comments. We got TikTok Shop this year, y'all. And that really went to a whole nother level this year with them lowering the threshold for who could be in TikTok Shop. Seeing that there are brands who are doing sales on TikTok that they're not doing on Amazon, and people are doing price comparisons. People are going to TikTok, seeing if the product is on Amazon and checking the prices. I've seen many people talk about it, and I know people in my own circle that have gone, oh, I saw this video on TikTok and I went to Amazon to see if they have it there. Which is a content hack for us as influencers, as content creators for those products. We'll talk about that in a second. So knowing your numbers, that's the one thing that I'm always shouting from the rooftop, from the mountaintop, is know your numbers. So if you have not ever checked your numbers, there's 2 ways to do it. You can do it on the desktop and laptop by going to your affiliate account, and you can toggle between your on-site and off-site. But you can also check right through the Amazon app. Go to the app, and on the Amazon app, it tells you different things. They tell you this in the dashboard on the computer as well, but they give you, what are your products like? What is your content doing? What are your products doing? Which ones are doing the best? We talked about knowing your top 3 to 5 categories when it comes to products. What product categories are doing well for you? What products are doing well for you? Here's why this is so significant too. I listened in for the Pinterest webinar that was this week. And then Canada had a Prime Day webinar this week as well. And so some of the things that I heard on both were kind of, pretty similar. Of course, Pinterest was focusing on the collab between Amazon and Pinterest and how we as influencers can take advantage of that. If you have not done so already, connect your Instagram to your Pinterest, and they will soon allow us to connect our Amazon to our Pinterest as well if you have a Pinterest account and are using that as a way to promote your products from Amazon. But we also saw when they were talking about on the Canada webinar they were talking about some things. Of course, they went over like what were the popular products from last year, and how you can, share those popular products. What were your top products that sold really well last year, and doing content around that. So some of the things that they were telling us in the beginning, they're sharing that same insight when it comes to the other areas that are now, bringing in influencers. So again, this one was for Canada on Thursday, that did a whole Prime Day webinar. Great information. I love that they were a lot more forthcoming with answering questions in the chat as they were going through. Gave some really great feedback. Also, like, of course, we can't text somebody a link and get credit for it. We can't since now, I will say this, because this is something that's gone back and forth. On their end, they said we cannot send the link to a product or to our page from our DMs. And I know that has been something that has gone up, back and forth, back and forth. Can we do it? We've seen some people do it, and it was like, yeah, that was, I don't know about that one for our side, because we've heard different things on different webinars. It's kind of, again, it's flip-flop back and forth, but it's something to pay attention to. They also talked about, of course, doing the live streams, your shoppable videos, your shoppable photos. Same thing with doing Pinterest. They talked about this Pinterest challenge that's going on, and you have until the 30th to enter your content into the Pinterest challenge. That is for your photos. And I would even go to say it can be for your idea list as well. If you're doing a curated idea list, or you're doing an idea list that has, one of the, like, some of the products that were from one of the categories that they shared, you can go ahead and put the hashtag Pinterest challenge on there and share that out, and that part. Okay, so I know, listen, Stephanie, I was like, and again, because they were a lot more forthcoming with information than what we get on some of the webinars on our side. Like, they were answering questions like boom, 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 boom. And everybody could see the questions and the answers. So it felt good being over there. And it was a little more fun over there. I will say that as well. But okay, let me go back. Okay. I have noticed Amazon can be higher than TikTok sometimes, even with paying shipping. Exactly. And so that was why some people have gone and said, okay, well, I'll go ahead and I'll get it on TikTok instead of getting it on Amazon. But they're comparing the two. Because we did talk about how you guys were like, well, I'm getting the views, but I'm not getting the conversion. Well, you're getting the views sometimes because people are comparing the two. When they have the products on TikTok, some of those products have videos, but right now on TikTok, the products that have videos are the popular products. People are not making videos for all of the products. They're doing the popular products. The brand themselves are doing videos for all the products, or they're doing the live streams, but the influencers are not. That's the big difference between TikTok and Amazon. Amazon, we're doing product videos and content for multiple products, not just the ones that are deemed really popular. On TikTok, they're only doing videos for those popular products. So if you have a video for something and they go over and look at your video, but it's cheaper on TikTok, they may still go back to TikTok to go and actually purchase it. Antoine said, I saw an Amazon video where the person said they bought it on TikTok, but was in an Amazon, but it was an Amazon video. Not sure how Amazon let that happen. Exactly. And you know what that was, Antoine? Because at one point, and I think they still do, because even on the Pinterest post, he kind of mentioned it. one of the things that they were telling people to do at one time was to pull your social media posts and use them on Amazon. And as long as they didn't have the watermark on them, then you could use them. So that was a real gray area for us too, because we were like, but we can't live stream to both, but we can we can't dual stream to both because y'all get a little wonky if we dual or multi-stream to different platforms. But we could do that. Okay. I mean, that's out of our hands, that part. Yeah. Oh, Andrew said something that makes sense as well. It might have been because it wasn't a call to action. That's a possibility as well. Andrew just said, FYI, when you connect IG to Pinterest, you can have Pinterest import content for the last year. Yes, up to the whole year. If you have your Facebook and IG connected, when you publish photos and videos on Facebook that get turned into reels on IG, it will automatically go to Pinterest. Yes, and it is building your engagement on Pinterest as well as building your engagement on the other platforms. Stephanie said that doesn't make sense. We can share links to our storefronts anywhere. It's just the links to the specific products that has been in question. Listen, and that's why I perked up my ears when I heard it, because I was like, oh, wait a minute. I said, wait, now that doesn't sound too. And I guess when you've been in the program for a length of time too, you kind of pay attention to certain certain words just make you go, wait, what did you just say? Wait, because that's not, I don't know. Now, again, because they are just starting, it may be different for their side. And we've seen that with, if you have a different account in a different country, there are certain things that you'll see that is going on in that country or is not going on in that particular country for their Amazon website. That's, we can do, and vice versa. So it's part of the process. Andrew just put in the comments the hashtag Pinterest trends. They were clear to say that they can't. Oh, hey, Deborah. They were clear to say that they can't speak to .com practices. I thought the CA webinar was really good. Yeah, it was. Lots of transparency around specific ASINs to prep for Prime Day. And they gave you specific breakdowns and details about how to prep for Prime Day that we saw that type of engagement with us as influencers back in the beginning when the program first opened up to more influencers. Since then, we have not gotten that same level of breakdown for what Prime Day can look like, what it's not going to look like, all of that. So I love how they went in detail with that on their webinar. Definitely something that I missed. And I think part of it too is when they do the webinars for us, it's not a webinar, it's them being on Amazon. And so they're not directly engaging with us. They have people who are engaging with the chat, but they're not directly engaging with us. And so it's a completely different feel as opposed to us being on a webinar and them engaging directly with us. Listen, Antoine, that goes into what we're talking about today. So if you've been looking at your stuff and saying there's way too much to handle, Altovise, I only have 2 hands and I don't know how I'm supposed to handle 19 different things. Antoine just said it in the chat. Sometimes that means that you need to delegate. You need to ask for help. You need to pay for somebody. You need to have a VA. Yes, we even when Kimberly was on and she was telling us about Benable, she talked about she has a VA. So she has somebody that she can send. She has all these amazing ideas. She can send them to the VA and the VA is doing the work. And it leaves her free to do other things. Because it's a lot. It can definitely be a lot to handle. It sure can. Andrew said, make sure you have your platforms listed for disclosure. Yes, always. Since I had my initial issue, my first few months haven't had that issue with the links getting flagged anymore, thankfully. That part, yes. Make sure that all of your websites, all the social media sites you're using are in your back office as approved sites that you're using. That part. That part. FYI, we did that. Delegate and automate. Come on, listen, Lane said it. Delegate and automate. That's why if you missed that fireside chat where we were talking about automation, go back, and we still have the part 2 of that fireside chat coming up, because delegating and automating, listen, it puts you in a different space, because now you're not so stressed out about, okay, what did I do? Because some of you may need to automate in one of these areas. Let's talk about it. Some of you may need to automate or delegate when it comes to research. Sometimes you're just like, I don't know everything that's going on. I don't have the time to look it up. So you need to go ahead and see if there's somebody that can do the research for you, or if there's a program that can do the research for you. We talked last week, if you missed the 2 p.m. last week, we talked about how you can use Google Alerts when it came to the recalls on Amazon. So you knew what products, to look at your products and see if there was something that you could say, okay, I still have this product. I can do a new video saying this is an alternative because this product was recalled, right? So we talked about that. So doing the research, actually doing the editing. If you're somebody and you're like, oh, it takes me days to edit one video, that may mean that's something that you offload it to somebody else. You get somebody on your team that can do it, and you work out the details of how that payment is going to work out. But it takes things off of your list. Now, if I just need to record and then I pass it off, that 2-3 days that it would have taken you to go and edit that content, you have that time back to do something else. That part. You got that time back. We want to make sure that we're wise with our time. So research, editing, uploading. You may say, oh no, Altovise, I can record and edit quickly. It's sitting down and having to make sure I have the right keywords, the right description, the right title, that part, just, you're like, no, I can't do it. So find somebody that can. Sometimes that may be Fiverr. Sometimes that may be, what was the other one? There was another site that you could get low cost, like VA services. It's the way that I was like, Uplink. No, not Uplink. It's something else. I remember Fiverr.
We automate.
Upwork. There it is. Upwork. And what'd you say?
Something like that you can automate too.
Yeah, there you go. So those are some things.
Do it.
That part. Then you have programs like Oink, because the other thing that you may need to go and check out, and I'll have Lane come back because I just saw that comment down there. The other thing that you may need to check out is, okay, how is your content doing? So you may need somebody pulling and saying, okay, this is not tagged, this is that. That's why we love Oink. Sounds real funny saying it all the time, but that's why we like Oink, because Oink will go through and say, these are untagged. These are, the product is not available right now, and these are something else. Listen. Oh, that's one of the fireside chats, Heather. Heather said, Lane, you got to come and tell us. You got to give us the details. That's one of the fireside chats. Definitely. So those parts. And then the last one is, if you have content that just needs to be re-edited. Now, this is content you've already edited, you've already done the things, and you're like, it got rejected for whatever reason, or the content is no longer viable for whatever reason, and you're like, I want to repurpose this. There are ways that you can repurpose it. There is automated ways that you can repurpose it. And then you can get somebody that can say, oh, you could use this for this. You can use this for a blog post. And in that blog post, you can send them to an idea list that has alternative things since that product is no longer there. Y'all, I have ideas for dates, but I only have two hands. So I don't do everything that I know that can be done when it comes to creating content as an influencer. But y'all, there are so many ways that even if a product is no longer on Amazon, where you could still make money from that video. You could still make money from those photos. If you have a blog, like, yeah. Definitely. So I'll run back and have Lane come back in because of what you said earlier is that, you know, some of it you can go and you can get a VA, but some of it you can automate. Tell them a little bit more about that. Okay, 1 second.
All right, there we go. So it seems like most people have an issue automating from Amazon to YouTube. And I will say that is the hardest part to automate. You have to use, I know I was on vacation and I know y'all did a recent call about different tools that you can use. And the tool that I use, because I find it to be the best, is the Fluencer Fruit tool, because not for the research and all that type of stuff. Like, that's all great. We use that whenever we might buy something for the house and we know we're going to make a video on it. But the main part that I use that for is to be able to download that report, because I want all that data. I need all that data. And I take that and I pop it into Airtables. I have an Airtables database is what it is. And it takes that report and it puts it into a beautiful database to where I can search it, I can get into it, and I can run automations through it, because all of those automation services have a link with Airtables. And once you, because the issue is that Amazon does not have a link. There's no API to be able to connect the two together as of yet. Repurpose has a little something that they have access to, but it's not like what you need to be able to get it to where you need it to go. So the workaround is you have to invest in Fluencer Fruit. You have to invest in Airtables. You have to invest in the automation platform. So whenever people say that they invest in their business, and I know I've said this before, a lot of people are talking about, oh, I'm going to invest in this product that I'm going to make a video on over here, and you know, I'll get my money back on it. Whenever I'm investing in my business, I'm investing in how can I make something happen without me there? And that is why I subscribe to Fluencer Fruit, Airtable, automation software. And so once you have all of that data laid out into a database, basically like it's a Google Sheet on steroids is what Airtables is, you can connect those, like literally each individual cell, you can connect with automation software. So you can say, okay, whenever I take from this cell, which is say the link to the video, that can get uploaded to YouTube. Then from this cell, I can take the title from that I already put on Amazon and I can pop that into the YouTube video. And then it kicks off that automation to be able to actually upload it without you even having to be there. So that's the basics of how you do it. Is there a learning curve? Yes. We do not have, like, whenever I've shown this before to someone one-on-one, it's literally a 4-hour conversation just so that they can understand all of the processes that go into place to be able to put this together. And I just don't have the time. Go to YouTube, go to ChatGPT and ask it, how can I do this? I know it's got the information because I did it and I started out as not knowing any of this. But that's the basics of how you are able to get that connection. And then once you have your content up on YouTube, whether you're automating it, whether you're using a VA to do it, whether you're doing it yourself, then you can use repurpose.io to be able to take your YouTube video and send it out to all your other social platforms that you may have. Do I sell a course on that? No, I do not. I'd rather put my time into Amazon. Airtables, drink. Yep, everybody drink when I say Airtables. Ileane and I are wearing the same colored shirt today because that's the awesome color.
And so it's amazing. Again, this is why it's so important to have community like this, because you have people that are going to give you different perspectives. You have people that are going to give you, again, their insight for the people that have actually been using the process, not people that just came in, not people that have been playing around with it. Like you'll see somebody that'll be like, oh, I used it for like a week and didn't like it. You only used it for a week. Like, no, we need we need actual concrete evidence where you can compare something to something and say, okay, well, I saw it start increasing after using it 2 months, after using it 3 months. That part is really important.
Also, the other thing, and I don't know, I think y'all know Claire, data coach Claire. She put out an email recently. I was on vacation, but I read it the other day, and it mentioned me and how, because I have all of these automations set up to say, hey, I can take your content and I can push it out everywhere, I'm able to charge that brand more just because I'm getting them more exposure. I have more value that I can add to the one piece of content that I'm creating. And so, you know, most people charge 30, 40, $50 a video whenever I can charge $100 or $200 per video, because I'm able to push it out further than everybody else can. And I also want to mention with Andrew in there talking about Genius Link. I've been using Genius Link for years. I make money with them because the cost of Genius Links is so low, and I make money through having all those international stores set up, that the money that I get in from those international stores offsets the price of Genius Link. But also, going back to my automations, within Airtables, I can run an automation that will automatically take my ASIN and it will create a Genius Link from that, save that into my Airtables database. And then whenever I go to create my YouTube caption, it just simply pulls that Genius Link from that cells and formulates it to where it has, you know, buy here on Amazon, here's the Genius Link so that I get those foreign sales, Amazon disclosure, you know, the text about the product, the description of it, and then everything else that I lay out. It's all formulated within Airtables and then just pushed out to YouTube from there.
That
And
part.
that's why I use Genius Link. PostTap doesn't have that feature because I don't believe PostTap has an API that I can tap into that plugs into Airtables.
I love it. I'm looking at the comments too. I'm like, okay, wait. Carrie
More
said,
time. That's right.
yeah, look, Carrie said, and a lot of stuff no longer available on Amazon is available on eBay, and eBay has an eBay partner network for affiliate links as well. So again, there's a bunch of opportunities out there for us. I know we get frustrated when we see something not working on one platform, but there are other opportunities. There are other platforms. Listen, a good number of the different big name stores have affiliate programs or influencer programs where you can create content. Now, they don't market it the way that Amazon markets theirs, but plenty of other platforms have the opportunity for you to be able to do the very same thing, you guys.
I wanted to point out too with Genius Links, since you brought up eBay, is whenever a product goes out of stock or not available anymore on Amazon, what I can do through Genius Links is find the product on Amazon if it's there under a new listing, and I just have to change that one Genius Link, and it's going to change it for every single piece of content that went out that Genius Link was attached to. So I just simply go into Genius Link, hit the edit button, change out that ASIN, and then boom, I'm good. The other thing about that too is if it's no longer available on Amazon, you can't find it anywhere. Maybe it's only on eBay and you're a part of the eBay network. You can get an affiliate link to that eBay and just switch out your Genius Link to be an eBay link as opposed to an Amazon link. And now all the traffic, that whole circle of content that you created through automations can go to that eBay link as opposed to having to go through and change them one by one on every single social network platform. It is a time saver. I did that this morning, honestly. I had a product that was out of stock by the time the video went out, and I just went into Genius Link, changed out the ASIN, and I'm good to go.
That part. And again, I know we talked again about the ASINs. Some of the things that are coming up currently unavailable, it's because the brand has not taken down that particular ASIN. But if you check to see if the product is still there, easy way to do it, screenshot, put it in, it pulls it up. Guess what? Some of them they have already uploaded it for a new ASIN. You just tag the new ASIN and take the old ASIN off. So that's something I know that list. If you have Oink, because we talk about these different platforms and things. If you have Oink, it tells you all of the ones where the product is currently unavailable, and the list is astronomically long. But it'll take time to go through and see, and it could be a bonus for you. Here's the thing. Most of us would think if a product is no longer available, it's untagged, or it's currently unavailable, it's an old product. That's not the case. Some of these are new products that you might have just put a product up for. You just put the video up, you just put the photos up, and now it says currently unavailable. So going through that list is a valuable step for you, because again, you could be missing out on money. That could have been a video that was making you a lot of money. People were saying, oh, I have this video and now all of a sudden I'm not getting any views. Well, that's because the product isn't available. So they're not going to look at the video, because at the top, when they go to the product page, it says currently out of stock. Why don't you try one of these products instead before they even get to the videos?
And you have to think about it this way too, especially with Oink. Whenever I was going through mine, I think I had like 400 videos or something like that that are not available anymore. And my thought process is, well, I could go and shoot a video, have to upload it, and that's a lot of time right there that it takes to do that. Or I could knock out, 5, 10, 20 of these in the same time that it would take me to do one video for one product. So I'm able to actually get more content out, even though I'm just retagging it so that it shows up, as opposed to just doing it for the one. Kind of a time balance issue there that you have to go through.
Exactly. I did the same thing. I went through and said, okay, if not, let me go through and see which ones. And here's the thing. I went through the list and was like, what are the first 10 that pop out for me? And I'll go ahead and kind of go through, check them, and switch them if I can. I had quite a few that I was able to switch out. And then also some of the titles, like videos that you did that were old. Some of the titles just may be something that's, not appealing. It doesn't have any keywords. It's not engaging. Same thing. You might spend, instead of buying a new product and doing it, you might say, okay, these 5 products aren't getting any views. Let's try changing the title and add some keywords to the title, and let's see if that'll change it. Because again, if you change something on a product, you're still going to have that 2-week time before you actually see what happens because of that change. So it's still going to take you some time for it to filter through the system like it normally does. And Carrie just put in the comments as well. And we can get access to those big stores via LTK and also via Bendable. Both of those give you access to those big name stores without you having to go through a whole process of getting approved and all of these things. That part. Because I will say, I've been doing Bendable since we had the Fireside chat, and I have made multiple sales. I've seen engagement on the products that I've put on there that were Amazon products that I don't have content for. They're just on Bendable. I've seen that. And then I've seen some sales for some stuff that I have on Bendable that I don't have content for on Amazon. So I see the benefit of it. And this is within a month. And then I saw some people that were like, oh, I don't see the benefit of it. But they haven't been using it long enough to see. We always tell you 90 days. Give yourself 90 days. If you make a change, give yourself 90 days. If you implement something, give yourself 90 days so you have something to compare it to say, is this working or is it not working? Also, with Genius Link, you can find what other Amazon international stores it is sold in. That's true as well. Because just because it's out on our site does not mean that it's out on somebody else's site. Listen, I know that's right. Wait, Andrew said, ironically, Altovise made that comment last week in our meeting that some of our group needs someone to do some of this stuff that actually understands what we deal with. Exactly. Exactly. There's influencers here in the community that you may be able to reach out to and say, hey, do you have this service or do you know this? Y'all know some stuff. You can go to Lane's social media and you can see some things that'll give you some insight and some help. But also, that's why we do these calls as well. Again, that's specifically why we do the fireside chat. So I told y'all the second part, Lane is part of that second part for the automation for a reason.
And look, I'll put a link to my website where I list all the services and stuff that I use. So if you guys want to look at any of that, it's right there in the chat.
Awesome, awesome. Stephanie said, squirrel moment. Speaking of screenshot, how is the auto tagging feature in the photos working for everyone? They're getting close, but not the right variation. So here's the thing with the variation piece. Sometimes I'm like, it's interesting because I'm like, I'm wondering if when they pick a variation, are they picking the parent ASIN or are they picking the actual one that you may have? Or like they may be picking like the dominant ASIN, maybe the one that was added first. I thought about that as people were talking about it. I was like, it's a cool idea. I mean, I wasn't really heck bent on not being able to tag the stuff because I'll put it in a list and just grab it right from my list. But I know some people were like, oh my goodness, it was the best thing ever because it pulls it right up. But they haven't really seen it pull up exactly what they needed just yet.
Hey everyone. Hi.
Hey, Ileane.
Hi. I have no idea what this conversation is about, Stephanie. What auto tagging and where? On
Oh,
our
on Amazon,
storefronts?
your Amazon photos. So when you upload a photo on Amazon,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
they now have an automatic where it comes up and it automatically tags what's in the photo.
I have not seen that. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when did they update it? I think this week. There's been so many between Oink updates, Logie updates, Amazon updates. There's been a lot going on in the last few weeks, and Logie gave us a message telling us that there's a new update coming from them as well. Another one. Some new things that are coming up, so we're looking forward to that too. But like Amazon has been doing so many updates in the background, y'all. They took the creator connections numbers off of your all off-site dashboard because people were getting confused. Let's just be honest. People were getting confused. They were adding extra numbers, adding stuff together and trying to figure out why, but no, y'all was doing too much. They said we gotta bring it back. We gotta make it a little more user friendly. And so it's not there like that anymore. Because again, people were like losing it, trying to figure out, well, why isn't this matching up with this? And why isn't people were literally losing it over that one. Clicks count for moving ranks on Amazon. So get those clicks. My clicks have almost gotten me to gold on Binnable. Yeah, on Binnable alone. Like if they do tell you when you do your Binnable list, you're adding your links to, from Amazon, you're adding links from other places as well, but it adds to your engagement on Amazon. And so you should start seeing some changes. You should start seeing more off-site engagement if nothing else, especially because that's one of the areas as an influencer for Amazon, that's one of the areas where people have struggled, right? People have been like, I don't know how to bring offsite, especially if you're a micro or a micro influencer. You're not one of the major influencers that has 100,000 followers. You're a micro influencer and you're like, I don't know how to bring people from my social media to there. Pinterest is one way and Binnable is another. And I love that we're able to see we're now able to do the whole collab with Pinterest and Amazon. Like that's going to take things to a whole nother level. But like people click on stuff on Binnable and on Pinterest every day. So what you post today, somebody may click on it 3 months from now, 6 months from now. And so it brings them right back to your social media if they click on that particular product. And I've seen things sell. The other thing was for Bendable, people were like, well, is it only small things that you can add to list? Or, like I've seen books do really well on Bendable. And I will say, but I've seen some other things. So I've had some higher priced products sell that were on my Bendable list. So having a creator connections campaign, grabbing that, creating a list, putting it in that list and filling that list to make it optimized, it's a no-brainer. Thank you for putting that in the comments, Ileane. Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. It might be rolling out slowly. Sandy said, but their auto tag is not always accurate. Exactly. You need to make sure that the photo of your product matches the brand that they auto tag. That part. I mean, so make it make sense. Come on, get it together. We need your session on how to set it all up. Yeah, that's what the so the automation session that we did was from Andrew and Antoine. If y'all missed that one, go back and look at the replays in the Logie group. And they talked about, some really powerful things, y'all, when it came to automation. And then setting it up and getting things kind of in place. I have 2 other people that were coming. So Lane was one of the 2 for the second part of it. And then we still have a part 2 for the Bendable one as well, that we'll do probably end of summer to give y'all, again, we always talk about 90 days, but like probably end of summer to give y'all like that 90-day window-ish time frame, that you've been kind of working on it and testing it out. Somebody said, I stopped using it, automations. Oh, because they couldn't get the reach they used to because of the way the platforms treat content with links. Got it. And I will say this too. This is the other reason why this is so significant to do this at this time. We're in the perfect time. Social media platforms, a couple of years back, hated you posting links from other platforms. They hated it. They would give your account less views. It was horrific, right? But we're in a time now where Meta and Amazon have it so now you can tag products. That part. We have it so now Pinterest and Amazon, you can tag products. TikTok and Amazon, you can tag products depending on your level. You can tag products. So whereas before we had this hard stop at, okay, well, we had to be at a certain level in order to be able to have this, to do this on the platform and do this. Now we don't have that same limitation. And that's on many of the platforms. But again, that's where that research and knowing the information comes into play, because now you know what these different platforms are doing and how that can be beneficial to you as an influencer, how that can be beneficial to you as a content creator. So you may not be on Pinterest and may not have any interest on using Pinterest, but you may use Bendable. You may not be on Bendable, but you say, oh, well, I see that they're kind of doing some new things with Instagram. So knowing the information and understanding how you can utilize it is going to be so valuable going forward. That's why it's important to know what you've already done to see what it is I need to work on. What areas do I need to improve on moving forward into the last half of the year? How do I make the last half of the year better than the first half? How do I make the last half of the year less stressful than the first half? Those are the things that we're talking about today. I see the creator connections is off-site and on-site. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. I have my videos going to 5 platforms. My off-site sales and commissions have dropped a ton since I started this. Not increased like it should. Something isn't right. And that was what we were talking about before too, David. Because so many, when I tell you, do you have Oink, David? I think you do. when I tell you, when that list come up telling you all the products that are currently unavailable, I've never seen it like that. To where you go through your content and content that's really good, that was converting really well, was getting really great views. There's no views, and it's either not connected to a product because the brand isn't there anymore, or it's connected to an old ASIN. So that particular ASIN is not the one that they're actually promoting, especially if you have creator connections, because you're thinking, oh, well, I sold 5 of that product. No, you sold 5 of that product for the old ASIN, not for the new one. And the new one is the one that's actually in that campaign, not the old one. That part. And I've seen that happen way too many times. And so we're missing out on money not because the content isn't good, not because it doesn't convert. It's just because it's an old ASIN. So the switch didn't happen. They don't automatically switch it for us. I wish they did. Yay! Congrats, Heather. Heather says she made her first off-site sale yesterday. Let's go. Woo-woo. Stephanie said, and I do believe our on-site success is linked to our off-site activity. Some of it is. Some of it is. It depends. Because because you still have people that can like your list and like your content. And we may not get, which is weird because we don't even get notifications. Remember when we found out that people could actually leave a comment on videos, and we were like, so what are they commenting for? We can't talk to them. Because they've been very adamant about, these are our customers, not yours. Okay. So it's the same thing. Like, there's things that go on and we don't know that changes have been made, but Michelle said, was that last week? Was what last week? Let me make sure I'm not missing any hands also. Oh, the automations? No, that was the first Fireside chat that we did. That was a few months ago. 2 months ago? 2 months ago, y'all? I believe so. And the replay for it is in the chat. It's in the chat. The replay for it is in the Logie group. I want to say there's a section that's just for the Fireside chat. I'm not sure if we set it up or not yet. But that was a big reason why people had the content is amazing, but they're not seeing the sales, and that's why. Oh, David Peters, come here. Let me hold your hand. I'm gonna need you to make the upgrade. It's so beneficial, and he just added. But he just added that it pulls that. He added that there's a little, well, I don't know, he's still working on the little box, but he just made all these little these updates, like literally like yesterday. He just made some new updates yesterday, and I started seeing some of them where you can kind of track your creator connection campaigns, and like there's a couple different really cool updates on there that are great for us when it comes to, again, knowing our numbers and stuff. So that part. I'm selling a teapot. Come on. Carrie said, I'm selling a $295 teapot on Venable every single day. All I did was link to it. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's why I said there's people that are like, oh, I'm not making any sales on Venable. That's when you go, so what's your process? Because it's either your keywords suck, your descriptions and titles are wonky, or you're not doing lists that are actually engaging. Like, I'll tell y'all, funniest thing, and again, I've only been on Venable for a month. I just got an email this week from them saying, these lists, and it was maybe like almost all of my lists, these lists are now being pushed out to Google. And that's after doing what Kimberly told us to do in the Fireside chat. I didn't do nothing extra. I literally did exactly what she told us to do in the Fireside chat. I've made money on Bendable. I'm making money on Amazon. And now the list, my Bendable list, are being pushed out to Google. Like, I think all but one of my lists are optimized. By the way, speaking of Bendable, I got a notice. My lists have been indexed. See, Andrew got the same thing. That his art being pushed out to Google, including the ones that are not optimized, which is crazy because again, if your Amazon links are in those lists, that's more engagement and more views for you when they come to that list from Google. Oh. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, CC, they've been working on a lot behind the scenes. So I even had one point where it gave me a box and was like, we're currently working on da 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 and da 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 da. We'll be back up da 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 da. And I was like, that's weird. I said, oh, well, I guess I won't be doing that right now, going through campaigns. Because y'all, and listen, y'all know I'm typically the one that go through campaigns. I am at 60,000 campaigns right now. And that's because I'll go through 3,000 to 5,000 campaigns and then come back and there's another 1,000 campaigns and go to sleep and wake up and there's another 5,000 campaigns. And I'm like, that's 6,000. Wait, I went through 5. Y'all gave me an extra 1,000. Wait a minute. But I will say this, they are adding brand new brands on Amazon on Creative Connections. So if you're not doing a search, filtering through the search, there's a couple ways to do the filter. Do the filter with commission. It gives you the highest commissions. Do a filter with the commissions rate. Do a filter or go into the filters and go to the specific categories that you're interested in and go through those, or you can go through the specific brands as well. But actually filter it down and go through those lists, because there are a lot of campaigns that I'm like, y'all didn't make no money for your whole campaign. I'm wondering how many people actually said yes to this campaign or even knew that it was there because they got so overwhelmed with how many things are on Creator Connections. And if you're just coming in, you could have way too many things to go through. So you have to go through and filter it out. And we're about to come up on the first. The first, a ton of stuff comes off your list. But guess what? If you just wait to the first, I told you 3,000 to 6,000 to 8,000 campaigns are on there every day. New ones. Some of them are some brands that are just doing the most. But there are a lot of campaigns on there that maybe some great options, but we're not catching them because it's so many, it's overwhelming for a lot of people. I counted my Bendable views for one list, about 230 in 2 days. Listen, the one I am sharing myself, this isn't just what Bendable is pushing, but no sales from it yet. And they come, and here's the thing too, on that one, are your affiliates that are on that list, are they only Amazon affiliates? Here's what I did. Now, y'all, I know. I don't just attach Amazon affiliates on there. If the brand is affiliated with Bendable, then I'll tag it from the brand. I'll tag their website instead of the Amazon link. Because I'm gonna slide this over. I'm gonna slide this under the table to y'all. Because sometimes you get more commission from the brand website than you do from Amazon. I'll just slide that under the table to you real quick, because I've seen it for a couple different ones so far, and I was like, oh, okay. And most influencers on Amazon don't even know what percentages they get.
The other thing too, going back to Genius Links, is if you created a product for a video that's already on Amazon and then you realize that the brand has an affiliate program. This is actually happening with us right now. You can easily just go into your Genius link and change that link out to be the brand's affiliate link, which will give you more money. There's a company that we're working with. I've been using their stuff for a long time. And so I had a bunch of content already produced for them. And they reached out and they said, hey, we'd love to work with you. We saw your content already. Let us send you some of our new stuff, create some content for it. And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. Also, what kind of affiliate program can you guys offer direct? And they said, yeah, we can give you, I think it's a 20% commission or something like that. And all I had to do was go and grab that link, change out all my Genius links that I already had made for that product, and then I'm good to go. So working with brands one-on-one is a great way, not only that you can get high quality brands that you want to work with, but you can take all of your old existing traffic and send it to your affiliate link. And the brand's going to be like, oh, wow, they're already like, we haven't even shipped anything to them yet, and they're already sending us sales based on their previous load of content. If a brand sees that, they're gonna be like, yeah, here's more. Take all this. Let's keep working with these guys, right? It gives you a one up to be able to be like, hey, I can produce something for you here. I can create some sales. Let's convert.
Exactly.
And then you
And
get
it
the
is
higher commission.
exactly. And so there's ones that I have linked to the actual my affiliate program with the actual brand because it's a higher commission. It's a higher amount. And so especially if it's a brand and you know that they're doing stuff on TikTok, and y'all, there's so many ways that you can finagle it. And
That's also another thing that you could give to a VA to work on. Have them, like, you already made content for all, and for me, 11,000 videos, right? Hand that off to a VA and say, hey, reach out to these brands and see what kind of commission rate you can get. And then if you're able to do something, let's go and change out all those Genius links.
That part. And I was like, it's interesting because I was like, oh, they said in our group, somebody made the statement, oh, if you're doing biddable, are you posting the link on Creator Connection as a blog post or as a social media post? And I was like, oh, it does come up as a blog post, because if you share it from Binnable, the list, to Pinterest, it comes up as a blog post. It comes up with the title on one side and the pictures on the other side. So I was like, that works. That definitely works. And that was David. That's another reason why the upgrade is going to be necessary. I think this is for all levels, though. It's not just going to pull our video links anymore. It's going to pull video links, photo links, and your idea list links. So if any of that content, any of those products are on those three areas on our storefront, it'll pull all of those links and post them in the Creator Connections program. So it won't just be for videos. It'll be for videos, photos, or idea lists. I'm excited because I just redid my idea list. I just did a whole reset on my Amazon storefront, y'all. Bananas. Took some time. It took all week, but I like how it's coming along. And by the way, Stephanie shared a binnable list in her group. It looks just like a blog post. Yep. Mm-hmm. On my phone anyway. Didn't check desktop. Really nice. Anyone know how to make the photo look better on Pinterest? I don't know. I don't even know if, well, that may be something they work on, but I don't know. For as far as Pinterest piece, because Pinterest is I guess, focusing on the collab with Amazon right now. So they may be making some other adjustments over there too. I'm currently at 187 Creator Connection campaigns that you're currently working on. I won't give y'all my number. Lane, don't give us your number.
4,000.
Oh, 4,000.
Yep.
Y'all.
I know.
The current campaigns, I'm almost at 1,000.
Mhm.
And a good portion of them it's been back on the rise. It's been increasing again. So that's why I said the bendable piece is definitely beneficial, because I've seen my creator connection conversions come up pretty much. I wish Bendable would allow you to search brands by commission amount. So here's the thing. So on Bendable, if you go into the little hamburger, go into your profile, go into the little hamburger, 3 lines at the top right corner. If you go to, what's it called? It is something like stats or insights, something like that. You click on that, and it gives you all the percentages for all the brands that they're connected to. Now, it doesn't do it it tells you the information for them right there. And the only reason I know is because I went through the list and was like, oh, shoot, I didn't even realize I could grab from that brand. Because I saw somebody else's list and was like, huh, I didn't even realize that they were on here. So I went and found the list. Also, if you do a Google search, they'll give you the list and the percentages as well. How many of you ladies selling luxury swimsuits right now? Just curious. So I don't know what a luxury swimsuit is. I got swimsuits. I don't know what a luxury one is. You might have to message me, Andrew, so I know what that is. Lane is a genius, indeed.
I think I've sold some luxury women's swimsuits somewhere.
Andrew said, currently in the process of promoting a few items with the intention of reaching out for a sample, just because I am pre-promoting products. Good. That, again, good strategy. Lane, how many videos do you create daily?
It's up and down. Like it's more of I look at it monthly. I'm not always making videos, but I think last month, which I was on vacation or partly on vacation. Let's see, I can look real quick. In May, I did 182 videos. And in June, so far, I've done 211.
Yep.
There was at one point where I think one month I did like 450 or something like that.
Yeah, and it's easy to do because we've talked about this before on the call. If you're doing 1 to 2, maybe sometimes even 3 videos for one product, because you're doing one in portrait mode, one in landscape mode, you're doing an updated video, that's 3 for one product right there. But even like so it just depends on how you're doing your videos, how you're creating them, how you're editing them, and then also the product itself. Because sometimes some products, can we be honest, some products you'll do a video for and be like, that was trash. I'm never that was a trash product. It's probably a trash brand. I'm never doing that ever again. But you don't know until you use the product. Stephanie said, by the way, add all bendable products to your idea list as well as Oink. Oink will catch the ASINs for you. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot. Some of them swimsuits up to 3K. 3K for a swimsuit to go in the water? Must be nice. $3,000 for a swimsuit. I get it. To each his own.
Hey, Heather and Deborah, I just want to say thank y'all for using my link whenever you signed up for Airtables. Appreciate that.
You said those are swimsuits for. Listen, but see, when I go, if I have on a swimsuit, I'm swimming. We're not just doing that. I'm getting in the water. Yeah. Right. So, super excited, y'all. All right, we have gone way past our time. Emmy, don't find us, please. We love you. Don't beat us. Don't take away our chocolates. We're so sorry. We appreciate you guys. We still have the 2:00 call with Ileane. Super excited about that one because she's doing a part 2 to the call she did last week, which is about Pinterest. I believe that's what the part 2 was about, right? Is Ileane still on? Ileane? I think it is, y'all. Oh no.
I'm sorry, I couldn't get to the mic fast enough. We're going to be talking about all the things because we can't just focus on Pinterest. Okay. Just to let
Okay.
y'all know. So I'll see y'all at 2. I'm working on stuff in the background. That's why I couldn't get to the mic fast enough.
No worries. No worries. Yeah,
All
sorry,
right.
Emmy.
Thank you.
Emmy, we owe you a cookie or a brownie or something. Look at A-Hud gonna slide in. Look, I looked at the Airtables thing and don't have time to try and figure it out. It's complicated, David said. But we appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. We appreciate each and every one of y'all in the community. Why? Because listen, even though we have people that may not come off mute, we have people in the chat that are just chatting it up. We have people who are in the community who are posting information, who are posting when they see somebody that's stealing videos and content, that are posting when they see they have articles that pop them. They're like, oh, this is a great article to read. Let me share it with the rest of the community. Like, our community is highly engaged when it comes to what is placed in the community. It's not just a place to vent. It's not just a place where we're like, oh, this is everything's garbage. It's also not a place where we're like, everything is awesome, everything is good. But no, we're not doing that either. So I love that it's a real space for real influencers to make real moves forward. I like that. Oh, go ahead, girl. You guys have a great rest of your Friday. We'll see you at 2 on the call with Ileane. Thank you again, Emmy, who is in the background. We appreciate you and all that you do for us. You guys, see you.
Bye, y'all.